Yo, what's going on, y'all? Januzzi here. Been doing another video. This time I'll be doing on Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn, the DLC. I played through it. I already beat the game. I did it on unknown difficulty. A little bit step up from chaos mode from the original. So it was fun. I like the combat system in this game, so it keeps me engaged. It's basically the same thing, a little bit more with some characters, just a little bit more of the story. I'm not calling it Game of the Year or anything like that, but hell, man, Destiny 2 can get Best Community Support nominations in the Game Awards, then things are weird, so it could be possible. Fuck, I don't know. But, yeah, I'm going to show you guys some tips here. And basically the first one's just like, you're not going to have the New Game Plus unlocked for you. And then when you start a new game, you're going to be starting off at like level 65, and you're only going to get some certain gear. You don't get all the cool stuff that you had when finishing the main game of Arise, which you want to do because obviously this is a continuation from the main game. Now you'll get all this good stuff like the gold SPCP and a couple of weapons for all the main characters, which is fine. They're not too great, but may as well have it. But the big one right now is going to be the gold, and I'm going to show you why when we get to a vendor. So we'll skip towards a vendor, then I'll show you all the stats that you guys start off with. Okay, so we made it to a vendor, and we're at the inn. But let me show you the stats. Where you start at level 65. You're missing some arts, but you need to buy that from your skill panel. And another thing I want you guys to do when you first come into this, because you don't have all your DLC items or whatever, So you come in here and just accept them all. Just go all the way down the list and get them all. Some of them are free inside the PlayStation Store, so take a look. Just download it, and yeah, you'll get it for free. Well, some of the stuff. But some of this other stuff is pretty good because it gives you extra SP to spend on your skill panel, which will unlock some extra trees for you too, which is good. It's just extra stuff that you can have, So let's take a look at the things you want to prioritize. Now that you started a new game on the DLC, you want to get your max AG up and some skills, especially the flaming sword abilities, because Alphen doesn't really have many of them in the beginning. Now another thing with all the characters, you want to get the boost gauge, increase it, from either enemy downs or from doing like 10-hit combos and stuff like that, because you want to get that so it'll boost all your allies up so that you can call them out more. Don't start with the boost strike damage. Just prioritize the other stuff first. Okay, now let's talk about a little tip I like to call weapon skipping. Basically, you can buy the best weapons in the game, besides for Alphen here, which you need to get to the training arena to get the iron pipe. But everyone else can get their top weapon, which will be used for mainly throughout most of the whole entire game. Most of it. Not all of it, but yeah, later on you'll start getting some things that are a little bit better, but not much. But yeah, all you need to do is buy these materials. And you can see here with Xion, she only needs a granite fragment, so with all this other stuff, with the other characters, I already bought all this stuff. It's all here in this shop already. So you just come down here and find this granite fragment. There it is. Buy it. And now we can buy everyone's near in-game weapons at the very beginning, at the very first shop you go to. Just craft and equip it to everybody. Now, I don't know if you'll have the gold to do it. Like I said, get all your DLC packages, and you should have enough gold. If not, sell some items, and you should be good. Now everyone's equipped with their best weapon for most of the game. That's the weapon skipping tip. Okay, moving on to the next thing. Okay, next tip. Now, we want to talk about cooking and combat points. Now, don't mistake combat points for your CP. That's totally different. So whenever you're cooking, don't look for CP. You're looking for combat points. It'll say it fully. Now, the reason why you're going for combat points when you're cooking, so that you can also fill out your SP board, as well as level up faster, because combat points give you a percentage more after each fight for experience and SP. So you can fill out the board, level up at the same time. It's the best way to level up and get all your stuff filled out. Now there's a little bit of a problem here. This is why I'm starting it off here. It's still early game. This is the first campsite you can actually get to. And Kasara is going to cook something up. It's going to raise like your elemental defense. It's going to override whatever food buff that you already have on if you rested at the inn earlier. So there's a problem also early game on the DLC is that they don't sell any eggs. Those damn eggs are going to be gold to you later because you want to keep cooking those things up so that you can grind your levels and your SP. But I'm going to get in here. I'm going to show you which ones are good, as well as show a good alternative, and plus a little bit extra. You'll see.
If you listen closely, you can...
Now, it's the Gladys Donuts. Those are the ones you want. And you want to cook it up with Xion, because in a 90% increase, it's really good. But you see, the eggs are a problem. I don't got them. You have to wait till later on as you progress, do some side missions, and you'll get them. And you start cooking this up until you reach 100 or fill out your SP board. Now the alternative to that right here is the rat pig. So cook that up with Dolim, and you're pretty good. Now another thing to cooking, like if you're like around mid-level area, you want to start cooking up this stuff. Hold on, let me find it here. There's the obtain ore up, which is pretty good, but you're not going to do that. You want to do the pancakes when you're around mid-level, and you get the rare ore up. So you start getting level 5 ores, so you can make the strongest accessories and then override them, which I'll get into later. But remember, this still works out pretty good too if you're going to be farming for ore. Okay, that's it. Let's move on to the next. All right. Now, before I move on, I want to show you guys that a little something I forgot to talk about. It's basically unclaimed DLCs. Once you claim it all, then you can go to settings, then turn your difficulty up to unknown, or go all the way down to very easy. But that's up to you. Me, I'm a knuckle duster at heart, so yeah, I want to get this thing done on the highest difficulty and beat it up. But it'll start off on chaos if you don't manually turn it back up if they're unknown after you claim the DLC stuff. So yeah, there's that. Let's move on to the tip, which is kind of a throwback, you know, so you probably already know this. You went through Arise, but the game's been out for a while, so you might have forgot. I'm going to throw it out here. Go straight down to group battle when you're in the training ground in Vicente. As soon as you get here, come straight here and do these things. These are stat boosting items, and you want to use those. And this is stuff for money. So you use those, sell it, or you're going to use it to increase your stats. And increase it by 10 points for each one. So right here, raise your penetration. Bam, you can throw it on anyone you want. It's very good, and it recycles every hour. So you can go take a nap, have a drink, you know, go to the store, run some errands, whatever. Just leave the game running and come back here, do another thing if you just want to increase some stats while you run through the game. It works out really good. Well, that's for that tip. I'm going to move on to the next one. Alright, now, I think you guys remember when I was talking about, you know, mining for ores. I'm late game here. I'm at the very end. I've got everything I need, but I just wanted to show you some things when you cook up the Doline pancakes with getting rare ores. You start getting a lot. Start getting a lot of 5s, and you want to do this when you cook up his pancakes.
I'm not afraid.
Come down to an area that you know where to farm. And look at those things just rattling through. Yep, this is what you want to use. So cook up them Doline pancakes like around somewhere midpoint in the game so that you can start making better accessories. Now remember, when you're making accessories, that you're probably going to want like the magic emblem, the fire, the warrior emblem and stuff like that. But there's certain areas that you can get them in. So right there, as you see, I didn't get any of those items because I'm not in the right area. So if you want the astral ore, it's in the very beginning, like right where I showed off the thing where I was teaching you about cooking. You go down there for the astral ore, and you'll figure out the other areas as you go. So, yep, that ends that tip, and I'll teach you more about crafting the accessories here in a second. Okay, now let's talk about crafting accessories. Now, here's another thing that we want to talk about. It's also a cameo. The Devil's Arms are back. Very, very epic weapons. If you guys don't know about it, I have another video about it, and I'll link it in the description. But let's get on to the main thing and what I'm focusing on my accessories. It is counterattack damage. And then you can see I have like that one thing off the side, the fire damage. Obvious reason, Alphen has the blazing sword. I also do that with my healers, but I do the casting time. Kisara, I have the aggro up large. Basically, she's my tank. It draws all the attention away from everybody else, so they're just screwing them all up. And she's going to be doing damage on the side too. Now, my other DPS here, she does the water. It's just my thing. You know, you guys can change it up. I've seen some crazy stuff with down damage, and I've used it too. But I really like that 90% extra damage when they're trying to attack you. It really rocks them. So let's get into the crafting of the accessories. And yeah, moving on. Alright, now let's get into the meat and bones of crafting accessories. Now, what you really want to do is craft something you really want. So, like I was showing you guys earlier, I was going for counterattack damage. So, what do I want to do with that? You're going to look around for what you want. And look for those abilities that you really like. So, I already found one that I did like, which is counterattack damage. So, I'm going to find it right there. I'm going to create the accessory from this piece of ore I found and make it. Now, you enhance the accessory and you find out where it's at. It was the resist ring. There it is. So now we're going to enhance it. So basically, without all this other crap you don't want or need until it's full. Enhance it. And then after you do that, you go to transfer skills. Now, with Law, I got 2 counterattack damages I want to throw on him. So I just find his little portrait. I already have the warrior emblem on him, so I'm pretty happy with that. And then I already made another accessory so I can make this pretty quick. And there's 2 things I want to get rid of is Glutton for Battle, and then also the rare drop rate. No, we don't want the fire attack damage. What we want, counterattack damage. Put that on him. We do it again. Now Law's got 3 counterattack damages.
I'd like to...
And then we look at our gear. Go over here to Law. And bam. He's doing 90% damage whenever someone tries to attack him. Which is really good. Which is what I really like to do with all the characters. Like I said, there's other things you can do. Side note, get creative. Find other things you guys want to do. But, yeah. Later on, I'm going to start showing some more cool stuff that you can do with all the characters. And, yeah. To be continued.